Documentation of what is criminal monitoring, which is occurring on the phone on your communication devices. And this is me accessing my account, which I'm only accessing on my cell phone. And I've been taking a series of screen images as I'm accessing the same website. And this is the engineer light that's directly above my head inside of my bedroom. The blinds are indeed closed. This is the same light activity you saw earlier while the light source was outside of the living room window. This is the light activity that's appearing all throughout the apartment when you're looking at demons such as Julia Alvarez Lopez. This was the group stalker who you saw standing right next to me on the cane while she was looking down like as though she's studying her phone while I'm talking about that demon. She knows that I'm talking about her when I'm referencing the demon possessed. She knows that I'm aiming my camera at her. This is a demon with her third eye on me. She's group stalking because they know that I'm coming downstairs. They were maintaining presence in that hallway. LAPD just got through flying over my apartment building, and the light source is over my apartment building, and I'm referencing the video that I captured at approximately 1:45 p.m. And then I go inside and I'm reminding you about video evidence, which I will go ahead and show you in this video. This is documentation of Spectrum, third-party group stalker Spectrum, who is not only going to pay me money for the use of my internet that I have already paid for, that they are denying services for, but I'm also going to prosecute them criminally while my life is subject to ongoing threats, while Spectrum is engaged in monitoring and federal stalking, and they're also engaged in what is obstruction of justice. This is blocking the ability to access my Wi-Fi, and understand the purpose for that. That is to slow down this entity that is terrified. They are both terrified and also at the same time obsessed and continuously monitoring and group stalking, including in the ways in which you see right in your face, like Julia Alvarez of 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6. She's engaged in what is criminal presence, group stalking, boldly in the path, studying her communication devices. This is a demon that thinks that they're mocking someone. Let me be clear. That demon doesn't think anything is funny. She's scared to death. So is the rest of the entity, that's including the one that's stalking in helicopter. That's why they do things such as trying to delete evidence. That's why they do things such as slowing down the internet. But let me be clear. The entity is posing what is a threat to the public safety because what they are doing is threatening your life while they're engaging in that criminal conduct in plain sight. That is the criminal system that's underway. So while I am uploading evidence, which the entity is desperately blocking my ability to contact it by blocking me out of my own Google page. This is my account. It's only been accessed by one device, which is the cell phone that I'm on right now. This is the superficial means, the superficial obstacles created where you are group stalking. And this is to inform the world and also the federal government. Monitoring is that which is the operation of your communication device, the ability to affect the way that it operates, the ability to, in my case, obstruct access to something. And they do so in the specific environment, engaging in the elements of monitoring. This is the impossible light activity that's above my head inside of my bedroom. And this is the blinds that are closed in the same closed position. You saw this light activity on my ceiling this morning over the same ceiling around my bedroom door while I was showing you the impossible light. That is this light. That is not sunlight, was on the living room floor, and you saw the light source itself over outside of the east side of my bedroom. This is the light source that's remaining over the same apartment while you saw the demon and the third party, Julia Alvarez Lopez, exhibiting what is impunity, engaging in what is life-threatening stalking conduct as the government, who is engaging in federal stalking in plain sight, engaging in what is group stalking as the state in plain sight, under what is the light source that was over me at approximately 1:45, 1:42 p.m., the last video that I captured. And this is moments after LAPD is engaging in their method of relevant positioning, audible activity through the amplification of audible activity of helicopter. This is a sex offense that's also underway that Julia Alvarez Lopez is engaging in. And as I captured in still images, Julia Alvarez, that you're looking at exhibiting that level of malice, this is her, and she was documented on February 16th, 2024 as well, engaging in an iteration of the same pattern of conduct, literally including Amazon Prime, including Maria Mercado as well. I documented her before, and this was at 12:39 p.m. Her social security number is 6205175118. She's going to federal prison, and she's going to be deported if she's not a natural born citizen, which I suspect she's not, nor her son nor her daughter. And also I believe she is I think she is working in some sort of aspect of the medical field as a caretaker, no group stalker will have anything to do with the medical field not being a caretaker. They are violent sex offending group stalkers who act with a high level of malice, which Julia Alvarez Lopez exhibited on video while the light source is hovering over your head. That is all manner of a communication of a threat by the state, and you are looking at the personality defects of that demon-possessed population, and that's the behavior that they engage in when they are surrounded by evidence. Okay, they don't start sweating, they don't start crying right there on the spot. The demon-possessed are highly arrogant, and they engage in what is conduct exhibiting the fact, exuding as though they have no fear, and they're actually lying. They are scared to death. In addition to what is conducting themselves as though they're least concerned about you, that's a lie. They are obsessively concerned with you, and everything about the environment is a proof of that. Now, today in May 2022, not only am I remaining at the Upland Public Library, that's not going to be outside of my living room window, my bedroom window. This is also evidence of what's not the sun, because the sun was outside of my apartment window, the living room floor. That's a sex offense crossing path monitoring me. This is the light source that is after 7:30 in the morning. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. This is 8 hours. And this is over the same apartment. So literally, I want to be clear. This is the east side to the west side. And you're looking at what is, again, the engineered light that is piercing through closed blinds right now at an upward trajectory. In the afternoon, aiming what is supposedly a downward trajectory through the closed blinds, while it's over the Upland Public Library on this day in 2022. And what I'm documenting, what I'm uploading specifically is what I want you to look at is the evidence of what is the criminal monitoring on my phone, blocking, which these are superficial obstacles. This is teaching what monitoring is. This is the same thing as you are engaging in when you are, when I'm trying to open up create a Google page in order to upload my evidence. And then the entity is requiring you to input a phone number. Oh, are you not a robot? Enter a phone number. Then you enter the phone number and it won't let you proceed with that phone number. That's a method of monitoring. It's operating, controlling your communication device, trying to stop you from proceeding and doing it by superficial means. As opposed to, in other words, they're just trying to appear as though it's a part of the process. And actually all they're doing is, instead of just blowing up your phone, for example, and just stopping altogether, which would be an obvious interception, they're doing it through the means of whatever. And so it's creating a Google means of Google's requesting your information. Google's verifying your identification. Google's the one that's stating you can't proceed anymore because, and it's not, it's monitoring and it's superficial. And when you do it on a different communication device, when you clean all your cookies and you clear out all the caches and all that stuff, you're able to go through seamlessly. That is not and also I wouldn't be blocked because I'm only using this one phone. This is a means where the entity's been monitoring me for years, and I was always obviously, I was able to get to my Google Drive on the website because I accessed it through the Google Drive on the app. What I'm accessing on, this is April 8th in the morning. This is the same property. So this is Monday through Friday, okay? April 8th is on a weekday. So let's go ahead and look at what date it is, because remember, it's the weekend. So the entity keeps the light source in alignment to my bedroom window as opposed to being over building 1810. All right, so on April 8th, that was a Monday, okay? So the light source is not remaining outside of my bedroom window. Right now, I'm inside of my office, which again, on April 8th, let's see, around 4 o'clock. We've got 3:01. We've got 4:20 p.m. I am inside of my leasing office. It's 4:01 p.m. right now. You saw it over my bedroom window. This is the position of the light source at 4:01 p.m.
And there is no sun that's in the sky space in New York, contrary to what you see. You'll see.
And you're paying attention. Not only are you paying attention to where is LAPD flying, they're flying where the light source is. The light source is where I am, okay? This impossible light activity is hovering over me inside of my apartment where the light source is, where LAPD is stalking in helicopter. Pay attention to that. In addition, you're going to remember at the same time, 20 minutes from now, the light source is going to be outside of my bedroom window where I'm facing, the direction I'm facing at my leasing office. I'm not even facing the direction of my apartment. I'm not going to see that light source outside of my bedroom window. Okay? The entity is stalking with the light source.
This is Kumali crossing path. They're crossing path by commercial airline plane as well. This is demonic pacing under a light source that's present over 8 hours, okay? This is the ongoing criminal system that's underway at Alpharetta Gardens. They're all going to federal prison. And I want to be clear, what you're looking at here is the light source. And
so you're paying attention to the direction. I'm facing building 1810. Excuse me, I'm facing building 1800, standing next to building 1810. And the light source that you're looking at right here is over building 1818 is where we're facing, and this is where it remains because it's setting here. When I'm standing downstairs at my leasing office, that's down there in that direction. I am facing building 1802, that building right there. So I'll zoom in on it so you can see specifically. The light source is hovering above this building when I am downstairs at the leasing office. And again, this is within the pattern of already being present since the beginning of the day on April 8th, 2024, while I'm at the same property. You've got the sunrise through the living room window of the same apartment. So at 7 o'clock. So let's count 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. That's 9 hours when I'm at the same property. This is the sunrise, 7 in the morning.
Earlier, these are companies
through my living room window.
Engaging in stalking.
That's 7 o'clock in the morning. And then you have what is 8 hours later when I'm at the same property. All I do is go downstairs and go to my leasing office at 4:20 p.m. It's currently 4:04 p.m. The light source is not only still at the property, which is impossible. The unnatural environment, it's the specific environment, but even more specific than that. It's not just the fact that it's at the same property, which is speaking to what's not the natural environment. What is under no circumstances going to be the sun over the Upland Public Library, which is what I'm documenting on this day in 2022, by the way. The entity is maintaining the light source, not just at the same property, which is within the P.O.C. It's where I'm located at the property. Okay, this light source is in alignment to my living room window. When I am at my leasing office down there, I'm not facing in this direction. I'm not facing this building 1818. I'm facing building 1802, while the light source is right adjacent to building 1810, where I'm down there in that direction. When I'm down there and I'm capturing it, this was the light source. If it was over here down there, I would be facing in this direction in order to get this light source. If that was the sun on this day, which you can clearly see. You can clearly see what I'm talking about when I'm stepping out of my office.
All right.
I'm stepping out of my office and I'm facing building 1810. LAPD is flying in relevant position to me, facing building 1810. The light source is over me as my person is not facing my apartment building. All right. The entity is maintaining light source, group stalking by plane and helicopter. And this is 8 hours. I'm at the same property. This is where the sunrise is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's at the same property. And I am not facing building 1806, which is where I'm inside of right now. Okay. I'm facing building 1810. So right here, this location where it's at right here, facing building 1810. That is that building right over here. That's that building right there. I'm facing that direction while I am downstairs over there. I am not facing this direction in order to get this light source that's hovering outside of my bedroom window right now. And the current time is 4:05 p.m. This is speaking to what is the group stalking conduct, which Julia Alvarez is engaging in with impunity. While she is group stalking somebody and she knows that it's being documented, and she is conducting herself in such a manner as though she is, hold on, let's get Alvarez, where's she at? She is engaging in what is impunity while she is engaging in the pattern of conduct as I documented, which was at, I believe, around 1 o'clock. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Yeah. We have Alvarez, who was group stalking at 1:47 p.m. Okay, this is called impunity. That's a demon. This is the light source. Hold on. This is the light source. While it's standing right over me. That was at 1:47. It is 4:07. That was 3 hours ago, and it's over the same apartment building. And this is impunity. You're witnessing the demon possessed who are engaging in what is the outward behavior of the demon possessed who are engaging in conduct. This is supposed to be the secret society. This is the demon possessed population who want to maintain an appearance of normalcy. This is also why you've been deceived with regard to the conduct, the appearance, the behavior, if you will, of the so-called demon possessed, and the reality of Satan and what it behaves like, what it looks like. It is obsessively stalking those that are not of that condition. And you are looking at the evidence of that. It is 4:07 p.m. and you saw what was the evidence of the sunrise outside of my window this morning. And that was at 7 in the morning. So rather than looking at a demon who is still engaging in what is obsessive group stalking while this psychopath knows that they're being documented, they go into a position where you can witness them group stalking you, and they talk amongst each other as though they're not focused on you. All of these demons are getting in position to visually engage in that pattern of conduct, and they do so literally while I'm pointing out the evidence. They're all going to federal prison. Julia Alvarez Lopez, Maria Mercado, her daughter that likes to engage in group stalking by walking the dog. It's activity creation while that dog is a means of moving around. And they're all doing so under what is the light source that was over this same building 3 hours ago, over the same apartment at 7 in the morning. And these are the demon possessed. This is an ongoing example. This is the grounds of what is the mental examination while LAPD is engaging in pacing back and forth over my apartment all day long. That's the entity that's engaging in the P.O.C. And it's not just Julia Alvarez and Maria Mercado, both of her kids, including the minor child that lives with Maria Mercado, and Julia Alvarez is, both of her children who are going to federal prison. They're both over the age of majority. This is 4:08 p.m. The maintenance of the light source in alignment with what is building 18 through my living room window, replete with what is engineered light on my ceiling. And then you have demons that engage in openly standing in front of you, group stalking in the path. That show of impunity is the substance of what is the evidence of that unlawful threat to your life and group stalking with the state, who was on video group stalking in helicopter. Let me be clear, the Los Angeles Police Department are going to federal prison, and so is Julia Alvarez Lopez. And you're talking about what is deportation upon federal prison. So the entity is group stalking by Amazon Prime, as you saw while that light source was over me at 1:45. The entity is group stalking by Silverview Townhomes, who's crossing path, going out of their gate, is group stalking conduct under that light source that's over my head, over my apartment building at 1:45 p.m. The entity is doing so while the light source is captured outside of my living room window, which is the east side of the same apartment this morning, which was 7. This is 8:20 in the morning. This is 8:02 in the morning. This is the light source captured outside of my living room window. This is the evidence of that light source this morning when I'm capturing it. This is captured at 8:02. We've got even earlier than that. The entity is maintaining this light source over me this morning. Oh wait, that's the previous day. Oh, I know where this is. I captured it on my, this was at 8:02 in the morning. And this is the capturing of the light source. Oh no, this was yesterday, sorry. Bear with me, let me see, May 3rd, May 5th, here we go. Yes, this is this morning. And this is the light source outside. This is at 7:30 in the morning. This is my living room window. And this is 4 p.m. This is my bedroom window. 4:10 p.m. This is the maintenance of the light source for the duration of the day. And then you look at the demon possessed. This is what the demon possessed engage in. This is the behavior of the demon possessed, who are group stalking in plain sight. They engage in this conduct as you document the P.O.C. that they are engaging in concert with the state, engaging in what is mocking behavior. She's looking at her phone as though she's studying her phone. She's being documented engaging in the state's criminal system. The entity just got through flying over my apartment, threatening my life in helicopter. The light source is hovering over my head. This is at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. This is 8 hours later. This is the demon who is engaging in what is mocking the targeted individual. That's the significance of this conduct. Threatening you in plain sight, the light source, all manner of a threat around you. She's going to federal prison. Her and both of her adult kids who are group stalking, demon possessed sex offenders, engaging in state terrorism with the LAPD. And you're looking at this behavior while I'm showing you what is the light source that's remaining directly over my head at this same apartment building 8 hours after I captured the sunrise this morning. And the entity is engaging in openly group stalking, because that's what they're doing while LAPD is flying over in helicopter, while the light source is over my apartment at 1:42 in the afternoon. Moving around in the engineered light is the group stalking criminal activity. And they do so while they're monitoring on the venue of the internet. These demons are pacing in engineered light. That's what all this movement is under the light source, under the engineered light. And then they're engaging in what is maintaining presence. Hold on, because you saw Amazon Prime was doing that too, but I want you to see what is the maintenance of presence. This is the light source. I want you to see this.
over you, and this is where the sun is both rising and setting, and that's the identity of recognizing the demon possessed. Okay, these are psychopaths who are engaging in a state system on an ongoing, ceaseless basis, and they do so with impunity. That's the sex offense committed by the entity as well. It is again 1:48 p.m. This is building 1806, and this is the documentation of what is federal stalking violation of Title 18.
That's the criminal conduct of the demon possessed. Okay, that audacity, that boldness. But I also let me tell you the reality of what's actually going on. That's a demon that is horrified in all that they can do in the specific environment where you have all of the evidence speaking to the demonic environment, the terrorism via directed light, impossible light activity, the maintenance of a light source 8 hours after the sunrise. This is where it remains. It is nowhere near, again, capturing on April 8th, same time of year. All right, where it's a Monday through Friday and the light source is not over my apartment window. It's over. This is where I'm facing
New York. If this was
coming out of my leasing office.
I specifically published that because you'll see it's on the internet. It says
the entity is maintaining the light source building 1810. I'm facing building 1810. That is not over building 1818. Okay, this is the entity that is group stalking. It's right now the current time is 4:13 p.m. The entity is maintaining a light source based on where I'm located. And the demon possessed engage in this outward show of that's a threat to your life, and that's the conduct to engage in what is relevant to psychological torture. And the demon possessed are not in any way presenting anything that is persuasive or realistic in the engineered light, under the light source, in concert with the demon possessed law enforcement agencies who are stalking by helicopter. The outward behavior of the demon possessed who are looking to the left and the right, acting like they're actually that's a demon that's trying to mock the target individual who is surrounding them with evidence. That's very foolish behavior. That's the reality. That's very foolish. She's going to federal prison. It's going to be relevant to the mental examinations that she's going to be subject to. And I'm referencing Julia Alvarez Lopez, who was group stalking in this specific environment. Group stalking, maintaining presence at that staircase with knowledge of the fact that I'm coming downstairs. That's a demon in that specific environment. Group stalking with LAPD, as I documented on this day, while she was also group stalking with Amazon Prime, also group stalking with Maria Mercado, engaging in another iteration of it right now, standing around the demons engaging in what is congregating in relevant position under the light source while they are aware of what I'm saying at the same time. Those are the psychopaths that are posing a public safety concern to the American citizens. They are placing under surveillance with the corrupt government. All right, it is currently 4:14 p.m. This is the maintenance of that light source. And this is through closed blinds. The sun that's above the building, the sun that's above us, is maintaining presence both over the Upland Public Library at the same time. No, it's not. That's not the natural environment. The entity is monitoring on the venue of the internet, limiting the ability to access my Wi-Fi. That's Spectrum, who's going to be prosecuted, while I am surrounded with what is a terrorizing environment, impossible light activity appearing above my head, doing so on an ongoing basis while the light source is rising and setting at one address. And then this is the significance of documentation, because you are remembering what the entity was doing literally even on this same day. You can analyze with regard to the same time of year, same time, even as I'm showing you at this same property at the same time. The entity was not leaving the light source over me outside of my living room window. I was facing building 1810 on April 8, 2022. And the light source was while I was facing building 1810, adjacent to building 1810. Where it's at right now is behind. I would be facing the opposite direction if that's the sun. That's called stalking with light. On this day in 2022 at 4:16, I remain inside of building the Upland Public Library, which I'm capturing. I used this as an example yesterday. At 3:37 p.m., I'm still inside of the Upland Public Library. I'm capturing group stalking everybody in my path. They're all maintaining corporate presence.
3:37 p.m.
And I'm walking and I'm showing you the light source hovering directly above my head.
In that route to this very venue.
This is 3:37 in the afternoon on May 5th, 2022. It's literally the exact same day. All right, at 3:37 p.m. Okay, this is a little over 40 minutes ago. And you're remembering what the entity is doing now. First of all, you see the light source outside of my window right here where I'm at in Los Angeles. This is the light source through my living room window. Through my bedroom window, where you saw it rising through my living room window. If that was the natural environment, it never would have been over the Upland Public Library. And then you're looking at what is impossible light activity that's on my ceiling through what are closed blinds. But you also see this through the closed blinds in the living room through the sunrise. You have light appearing on the floor. Okay. You saw earlier today engineered light appearing on my walls, and it was moving in real time. This is the ongoing pattern of stalking with light. This is the demonic behavioral pattern. This is what you saw earlier today. This was at 8:19 in the morning. Real time movement of that light, engaging in what is maintaining a specific environment while I'm subject to group stalking inside of my apartment. And then you're witnessing what is the bold and foolish behavior of the demon possessed, who conduct themselves in the way that Julia Alvarez did. And that is foolishly doing so because you are documented engaging in what is criminal presence in concert with the state. That is engaging in what is a foolish system of group stalking. And they behave like this, engaging in what is monitoring you in plain sight. This is a demon that's a sex offender, knowing when my panties are down. And you know that because the entity is filling your venue with impossible light activity and remaining for the duration of the day over you with what is not possibly the sun, which is the demonic means of keeping you under surveillance via the maintenance of engineered light, while demons are group stalking obsessively group stalking, as you see on video, the Los Angeles Police Department. So let me remind you about what LAPD is doing on an ongoing basis. Sorry, let me get out of here. Just so that excuse me, because there's a body of evidence of what the entity is doing and then what it's doing in concert with the state that is.
This is the same entity that's engaged going criminal pattern of.
Okay, this is 1:42 p.m.
LAPD is still stalking in helicopter. Light source is right over my apartment. This is P.O.C. That super amplification. Light source is right over my apartment, and they're flying right over my apartment.
This is the pattern of conduct by the entity where they are engaging in what is criminal maintenance of presence, and they do so via helicopters, while the people of the state, that engineered light that you see on my ceiling, the property, the grounds, everything around you is covered in engineered light, and the criminal purpose is to cover surfaces with engineered light, and then the cockroaches that are Julia Alvarez Lopez and the like moving all around in that engineered light. You're accomplishing that by being in the parking lot, opening and closing your doors, walking to and fro the apartment building, maintaining presence boldly while you know that you're being documented, and I'm documenting you by name and social security number, and I'm going to recall, I will specifically use as an example the impunity with which you engaged in that criminal system, threatening the life of an American citizen while you know that you're being documented. And that ongoing real-time knowledge is not reasonably questioned in the specific environment where you are being surrounded with what is ongoing stalking and terrorism via directed light, none of which is naturally occurring ever. That's a violent sex offender monitoring you inside of your in your face, also in concert with the state. This is a well-documented P.O.C. where there is no sun that would be at the Upland Public Library. And I want to be clear, at the Upland Public Library, it's remaining over my head, over the roof. This is 3:37 in the afternoon. I remain at the Upland Public Library, which I capture on video on this day at 5:35, which I used as an example yesterday when you witnessed the sunset through this same living room window. This is the pattern of conduct. I'm nowhere near Los Angeles. I'm capturing the remaining of the light source from as early as 8:22 in the morning to what is 5:35 in the evening, and I'm at the same address. And the entity is keeping the light source over me here in Los Angeles in one apartment through the living room window where I'm facing east, remaining while Julia Alvarez Lopez, a demon-possessed, highly malicious group stalker, a violent sex offender who's acting with well-exhibited impunity, I'm going to prosecute her with that. And then she's going to be deported out of this country because she is not welcome. And she's engaging in the criminal system in concert with the state under that which is not possibly the sun.
Exact location.
Because I'm showing you where it remains on the same day at the same time at 5:35 p.m. This light source is not going to be over or adjacent to anywhere near creating any light activity inside of the Upland Public Library. And that's not the sun that's documented remaining at the Upland Public Library on this day in 2022 either, because the sun is not a remaining stagnated star that's going to remain over the roof of a library all day long. In the same way, the sun is not rising and setting, remaining on the east side of your apartment and setting on the west side of your apartment because you stay inside of your apartment. That's the pattern of conduct of stalking with light. Demons such as Julia Alvarez Lopez are demons stalking with light and doing so boldly in your face. That is going to be recalled by the federal court, who is going to put her in federal prison. She's going for a long time. And that impunity is attributed to the entire entity. Maria Mercado, okay? Writer who's group stalking, documented on April 8, 2024, coming to the property to engage in that show of demonic activity, spreading engineered light all over the property. That's the same entity that Julia Alvarez Lopez represents. The demon possessed, acting with impunity, That's going to be credited to their accounts, all right, for how long they sit in federal prison. This is the demonic activity revealed to you, understanding what it actually is. The demon possessed are stalking you, and they are failing to appear as though they are engaging in what has nothing to do with you. This is not persuasive whatsoever that I'm not stalking you. This is a demon that is boldly monitoring you in your face, that is boldly engaging in what are the criminal acts that I have contended and have established as a matter of evidence. While you're looking at impossible light over my head, while you're remembering the sun is rising and setting at one address, while you are witnessing in the same video the entity is stalking as a matter of documentation, multiple police departments and San Bernardino, you have the sheriff's departments, group stalking with helicopters. The entity is maintaining presence, as I have shown you how their criminal system operates, in concert with demons such as Julia Alvarez Lopez, who, again, I'm going to specifically document her since she went out of her way to monitor me so thoroughly on behalf of the LAPD, the state of California. She's going to federal prison. Okay, and she is engaged in that show of impunity on more than one occasion. And she is not acting as an individual. Understand, when I'm identifying the entity by name, acting via Julia Alvarez Lopez, I am documenting the people of the state. They act as one entity. And at no time today, when I'm reminding you about where I was in 2022 at 450 North Euclid Avenue, and today where I'm remaining at 1806 North Alvarado Street, where the entity is maintaining a light source. And I'm also reminding you about even when I'm at the same property, at the same time, the entity is maintaining the light source where I'm located, which is why you have it over my apartment building as opposed to being adjacent to building 1810, which I wouldn't be able to capture if that was the sun. And under no circumstances is this sunlight. You're remembering that there's no sun over the San Bernardino Superior Court at 12:47 in the afternoon. No time of year. But during on October 4th, 2019, where I'm documenting the maintenance of a specific environment, and I'm also incorporating the daylight savings time, which is only giving and taking 1 hour. It's the same time, daylight savings time, and at 12:47 p.m., the entity was maintaining a light source over me here. And that's what you know as a matter of documentation, whether or not I took video specifically at 12:47, which I've done before. But I'm letting you know how it goes, because the entity is engaging in what is demonic imitation of the natural environment. So because you have it here at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's still in alignment to my apartment at 6:32 in the evening, there is no way that the entity is going anywhere with the sun. That is documentation of what is remaining present from the beginning till the end of the day. And that is speaking to what is not possibly ever going to be the sun over 245 Arrowhead, which is the San Bernardino Superior Court, contrary to what I documented. The entity is maintaining a light source over my head at the San Bernardino Superior Court, which is a matter of evidence, which I have captured while I was, let me get out of here. Which I have captured at the San Bernardino Superior Court on October 4th, which is relevant to time of year, daylight savings time, this is at 12:47 in the afternoon. The entity is maintaining presence for the duration of the day wherever it is that I remain, which is exactly what I documented. Not only is the sun not going to arrive at 10:30 over the Rancho
documenting what are the state actors, Allied Universal. This is light activity while you're moving around under the engineered light. This is criminal monitoring. It's also you're looking at a demon that is creeping and crawling. It's called crossing path. License 6WOD 588.
The light source this is the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, and this third party is crossing path while engineered light moves across
That's
the
also
building.
impunity. That's federal prison. Directed light is across the brick wall. Every iteration of what is demonic. Okay, directed light across that wall. That's P.O.C.
That's engineered light that's moving
somebody
across
that works
the
in the court
brick
that's
wall.
outside
That's
engaged in criminal monitoring
activity.
with law enforcement.
While I am at a courthouse, it's the same exact pattern of conduct. And this is not possibly the sun that's over my head at the courthouse at 10:30 during the same time of year. This is the same time of year at the Rancho Cucamonga, 8303 Haven Avenue. This is showing you how the state is engaging in what is very highly malicious, very highly deceptive demonic activity, which is a criminal system of surveillance in the state of California. And it does not stop at the doors of the court. Not only is this not possibly the sun while it's remaining over me at Alvarado Gardens from the beginning till the end of the day, which is documented while it's here through my window at 7:30 in the morning on the east side of my apartment, and still remaining present at 4:26 in the afternoon on the west side of my apartment, replete with what is engineered light above my head inside of that same apartment. You are understanding what is really made clear. A demonic activity that's entirely demonic. It's a demonic environment. It's a demonic behavioral pattern at the courthouse, a third party or a state actor actually, crossing path and engineered light moving all across that brick wall of the courthouse. That's the same criminal system underway, in addition to what is the San Bernardino Superior Court, which at 12:47 p.m., this is within the same timeline, and so it's very helpful for you to see it illustrated in the same video when the entity is engaging in the asininity of stalking with a light source, and upon exposure of that criminal system, everything that they are engaging in is made manifest before your eyes. This is the light source at over the San Bernardino Superior Court at 12:47 p.m. This is the light source stalking by helicopter right over my head. And the light source is right over my head. At 12:47 in the afternoon, it's over my apartment here.
That is the helicopter right there. Flying directly over the courthouse, flying over me. Aware that
And that's the light source right there over my head.
It must have been
Well, I'm at
advised
the
by
San
someone
Bernardino
on the
Superior
official
Court. I am at the San Bernardino Courthouse at 12:47 in the afternoon. The entity is maintaining a light source over my address, which is at 1806 North Alvarado Street. And this is a matter of documentation. And this is how you prosecute a state that is keeping you under surveillance. The state that is engaging in what is criminal surveillance is, first of all, practicing what is demonic. This is the malice of that state system. The entity is engaging in what is a demonic system for purposes of engaging in something which is so unfathomable, something so unbelievable that anyone seeking to report it to anyone that they report it to, by the way, is a state actor and or third party who is going to defame the targeted individual, criminally defame. This is not civil defamation. It is no pecuniary matter. It's a matter of what is your liberty and your freedom while the entity seeks to discard you. So if you attempt to report it to anyone, it is intentionally made that unbelievable. And this is the substance of that unbelievable behavior, and also the rising and the setting of the sun at one address, which, by the way, the ordinary target individual is probably not even paying attention to, because I guarantee you weren't paying attention to it either. All right, but this is the specific environment. There's no sun that's ever over anybody in Las Vegas. And let me be clear, it's sunny in Las Vegas every single day, but the sun that's remaining on the east side to the west side of my apartment is not anywhere over Las Vegas. The entity is engaging what is the maintenance of a specific environment. Just to give you one example, that's an example. This is not This is not sunlight. This is engineered light. This is the evidence of the demonic, and you're looking at the behavior of the demon possessed, and it is exhibited by Julia Alvarez Lopez. This is the behavior of those who are engaging in that state system in concert with the entity that is heavily documented engaging in that criminal system, and the entity that seeks to the pattern is they're supposed to conduct themselves, look to the left and the right as though they're disinterested, because you're supposed to appear as one that's a paranoid schizophrenic. This is the pattern of conduct, but it doesn't work. That doesn't work. That's a show of impunity. That's a malicious psychopath and a violent sex offender, one that is established as a matter of evidence, because the engineered light and the maintenance of the light source for the duration of the day, that's the failure of that system. That's by design. This is the behavior of those that are of the secret society. And let me be clear, because I have nothing against those that are not in an economic status where you may have to collect, federal housing assistance, but this is a welfare hog who is engaged. Not only is she prostituting the benefits of the state, she's being a criminal in concert with the state while doing so and acting with impunity. So in every regard, not only is she going to be kicked out of this country, but she is an example of how the secret society behaves itself. This is under no circumstances, by the way, any demonstration that the targeted individual reporting the pattern of conduct is suffering from any mental incapacity. This psychotic behavior, to the contrary, is demonstrating the psychopaths who are engaging in this highly malicious criminal system. And it is entirely unpersuasive when you are surrounded with a body of evidence showing what is stalking with engineered light. And by the way, this engineered light is the same thing that the entity is engaging in when I'm showing you what is group stalking by the entity that is crossing path while the light source is remaining, first of all, over an entirely different region. You're doing that, number one. Number two, you're also doing it while the entity is maintaining what is a light source. Hold on, let me show you. Oh, I have it downloaded on here. The entity is, The entity is engaging in what is the maintenance of the light source, not only in an entirely different region, but also engaging in what is the highly demonic behavioral pattern of crossing path with engineered light. Exhibit A.
He's engaging in ongoing documented terrorism with engineered light. This is the entity that's talking by LAPD.
These are demons.
Ryder knows that they're being documented.
These are demons. I want you to pay attention to the smiling face. I want you to pay attention to holding out their phone. They're engaging in this is a foolish entity that is in every way admitting, not only are they being prosecuted inevitably because I have established the P.O.C. unilaterally, but in addition to that, these demons, their behavior, their demeanor, everything that you can read about their body language and the way that they're conducting themselves, in addition to what they're doing, literally holding out their phone, which is evidence of operation of a communication device. There is an ongoing allegation of federal stalking in violation of Title 18. They are in every way admitting to what it is that I have established as a matter of evidence that they are engaging in. Pay attention.
Coming onto the property, that's fine. Engineered light behind the vehicle, pay attention.
I need you to pay attention to this engineered light that's dragging on the ground beside the vehicle. This is absolutely impossible. This is the demonstration of demon possession. And this is an African-American male, by the way, who was group stalking with law enforcement. There is no Black Lives Matter issue here. They are monitoring he's monitoring a black woman. We are not on the same page. He is no brother of mine. He is engaging in what is criminal conduct and targeting me as a demon-possessed group stalker in concert with the state, by the way. Okay, the entity is acting with what is a Latino male. It has nothing to do with race. These demons are monitoring me together. Okay, and they're doing so. The outward demonstration of demon possession, while you're looking at that engineered light that's beside the vehicle, that's the engineered light. Sorry, that's the engineered light that's appearing on my ceiling. That's the engineered light directly above my head. Engaging in this is the method that the entity is doing while they're crossing your path, engineer lights swiping all across surfaces. This is how you're doing it inside of the private space. All right. And you are witnessing the demonic while that light appears to be throbbing, getting brighter and darker. Everything about it, you're understanding you're witnessing the demonic, and you're also witnessing the demonic and let me be clear, Ryder and Center for Better Life, which is LA County, Ryder's a commercial actor. You're talking about civil and criminal prosecution. This is the pattern of conduct documented thousands of times by the people of the state, and it is impossible for it to even happen one time. But not only is the documentation of the light source over me in an entirely different region, by the way, April 8th, you can use where I was at today, May 5th, 2022. I'm at the Upland Public Library at 8:22 in the morning. The entity is maintaining the light source over my head. That's not the sun. In addition to that, sunlight does not ricochet off the sides of your car when you're just driving. That's not sunlight. That's engineered light. Those are demons. This is the pattern of conduct.
He's engaging in ongoing documented terrorism with engineered light. This is the entity that's talking by LAPD. Ryder knows that they're being documented. They're coming onto the property. That's fine. Engineered light behind the vehicle. Pay attention. He's monitoring as well.
So I want you to see that one more time. This is absolutely
engineered
light activity that is moving across the sidewalk. Okay, it's moving across the building. Pay attention. It's moving across the building. It's moving across the side. Hold on. It's moving across the building and moving across the sidewalk. That's called stalking with light. That's what demons do. Demons are stalking with light. That's the significance of having engineered light appearing above my head inside of my apartment. That's the significance of having that. And you're looking at it disappear. You're witnessing the reality of demonic activity. That's demonic activity. This is what you saw inside of my apartment earlier this morning while I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm observing light appearing on the walls inside of my apartment in real time. This is documentation of what is demonic activity. You're going to prosecute for what is terrorism via directed light by an entity engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. This is a long documented pattern of conduct. The entity is filling the inside of my apartment, which is a private space. This is prosecution for a sex offense. The blinds are closed. And let me be clear, even if the blinds were open, sunlight is not piercing horizontally through your windows and then going upward to be above your head and create your shadow above. No, that's not natural light activity under any circumstances. Nor is it going to be supported where the documented presence of the so-called sun is over an entirely different region, namely 450 North Euclid Avenue, the Upland Public Library. This is demonic activity. This is the pattern. The entity is maintaining presence all around you while engineered light is also coexisting in their presence. This is what demons do. And demons like to engage in what is the foolish provision of evidence for me, because I'm going to use that against you. While you want to monitor me in my face, engaging in what is a show, but this is to teach the masses. This is to teach what the demon possessed, the personality defect, the public safety concern that results from those who are monitoring you in your face. This demon isn't checking her phone. She's not checking the time. She can't not see it while she's bending over studying her phone. She knows exactly what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. And you know that because the light source is over me. The entity is stalking with the environment. They know exactly who I am. They know where I'm at. You know this by the light activity inside of my apartment that's never naturally occurring. The sunrise and sunset is through the windows of my apartment, as opposed to being over the leasing office in a position where I'd have to aim my phone in an entirely different direction. That's very specific, very targeted with regard to the environment. And this is a demon-possessed third-party group stalker who also also went out of her way to congregate again so she can be in my line of vision while she is monitoring the ongoing documentation. And while I'm documenting her by name and social security number again, this demon in particular is going to be shipped out of this country. That audacity, that boldness, that impunity is going to be met with justice of a federal nature. She's going to be deported out of this country, and the Los Angeles Police Department that's group stalking with her, engaging in this demonic system with her, having this methods of light filling your apartment all day long, that's terrorizing to the ordinary target individual. It is the prima facie case of federal group stalking and monitoring. It is the direct evidence of the entity acting via third parties living at the crime scene, namely Julia Alvarez Lopez, social security number 620-517518, living at 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 4, who's going to federal prison. All right. It is currently 4:37 p.m. It's Sunday, May 5th, 2022, and the sun is not over the Upland Public Library. That was a pattern of conduct at that state facilitating venue. Everybody at that venue that I documented engaging in kidnapping with the Upland Police Department is going to federal prison. All right. And all 59 units here are filled with third-party group stalkers who are going to federal prison. All right, because Upland Public Library engaged in criminal summoning while they were engaged in the pattern of conduct with the state. That's the state that's a psychopath. The entity summoning itself when they are stalking you day and night in helicopters. Okay, those are demons that are eager to be in your face and threaten you. They are so obsessed, and then they're masquerading as though they have legitimacy as police officers, sheriff's departments, and courthouses, and they don't. That's fictitious exercise of authority. You go to federal prison for that, and that's exactly what's coming. And everybody that lives at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison. All right, it is currently, again, 4:37 when you're looking at the maintenance of the light source, and this is the same window where the entity is maintaining the light source as though the sun is going to set while it's present as a matter of documentation. Look at the compare the P.O.C. folder so you can see it for yourself. I used it as an example yesterday afternoon because what happened on May 4th with regard to the natural environment would be happening again on May 5th with regard to the natural environment. And no matter how many times the demon possessed are surrounding in that unnatural environment, it does not make it the natural environment because you are repeating that which is entirely unnatural over and over and over again. That's called impunity. That's called psychotic. Okay? That's the P.O.C.